Hi everyone. In this video on character, we're going to talk about self-control, we're going to talk about accountability, responsibility, and decision-making. Character is about self-awareness and about self-control. And you say, well, why is that? The answer is leaders need to know how to lead others, and this is done through relationship building and development and how leaders act and treat others. But first and foremost, they have to know themselves. Leaders do not lash out at others or attempt to bully others through the use of their power or position. When you see this, you have a weak leader that really has no idea how to lead. Warren Bennis once said, the leader never lies to himself or herself, especially about his or her own flaws, as well as his or her own assets, and deals with them directly. You are your own raw material. You know what you consist of and what you want to make of it. You can invent yourself. This requires self-awareness and a preparedness to be critically reflective and examine your own behaviors and consider whether there may or may not be better ways of leading than the ones that have been working for you in the past. We limit our development as leaders by not having the discipline and courage to assess ourselves honestly. So we must constantly review how we lead to assure that we lead with character. Critical reflection is needed for any leader's ongoing development. Everything we do as leaders needs to be reflected upon to evaluate its effectiveness and consider making changes in your own behavior. This ongoing reflection and trials of various actions helps us as leaders develop and reach our potential. Finally, self-control is about self-discipline, particularly in the area of personal and professional development. Good leaders are continually learning and trying to get better. They're trying to grow and develop through their life journey. Good leaders passionately care about something, and this drives and, if you will, fosters their ongoing desire to grow and to develop. Leaders of character always work in making themselves better as a primary ongoing journey because in this journey they become better leaders for others. All right, let's talk a little bit about accountability and responsibility in decision making. I've spoken about the importance of character in decision making when we covered the values and integrity components of character. Accountability and taking responsibility for your actions are also foundational for effective leadership. You may ask, how so? Or not being willing to admit that you don't have the requisite competencies to succeed in the leadership role is rooted in character. Not being willing to listen to those who can help because of the perception it would undermine your leadership authority or power is a problem rooted in character. Challenging decisions that made by others but which you feel are wrong requires character. Dealing with discriminatory behaviors requires character. Creating a team culture of constructive dissent so that others may challenge your decisions without fear of consequences requires character in a leader. So leaders of character must be accountable and accept responsibility for their actions. But what does that mean? It means that as a leader of character, you're willing to say you were wrong, take responsibility for decisions you made that did not work out, show transparent accountability to those that work with you and follow you. Many leaders are afraid to do this due to the fear of appearing weak or lacking knowledge. But what really happens to you when you do this, more often than not, you'll be seen as a human being that made a mistake instead of an individual lacking integrity and trying to cover their tracks. So my advice to you would be take the high road. Own up to the mistake, be honest, and move on. Your followers will see this and appreciate your honesty and integrity. Leaders of character must be accountable, and part of this is being vulnerable, as this communicates authenticity and who they really are. It lets people know you as a leader better. You need to be confident about your strengths, humble about your weaknesses. Humility and character helps a leader to be open to others and willing to listen. A humble leader seeks advice from others. Leaders of character are accountable to themselves and to others. They are also critically reflective on their actions. They debrief actions and events, meaning after the fact, how did it go, to determine what went right and what went wrong so they can find out what occurred and maybe do better next time. Thank you.